It's time for Coffee with the Chicken Ladies, a podcast for people who love chickens.
Hey everybody, and welcome. It's Chrisie&Holly from Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. We're here, and this is episode number 229 of our podcast, where we talk about everything chicken, family, fun, and
more chickens.
More chickens! We drink a ton of coffee. I'm talking a ton. But most importantly,
we hug chickens every day.
And we kiss them too. Don't forget. We brew coffee from a little coffee roaster in Houston, Texas. Bright and early coffee. Holly Ann, what kind of coffee are we brewing today?
We have a nice pot of hazelnut going today.
It's delicious. If you're not drinking the bright and early hazelnut coffee, you are missing out. We have a code. It's CWTCL 15 for 15% off bagged coffee. Holly Ann, where should everybody go to get it?
brightandearlycoffee.com.
And if you use K-Cups, go over to Amazon. Follow them on Instagram and Facebook. Are you ready to sip some of this delicious hazelnut coffee and chat?
I am, but first, a word from our sponsor.
We have some exciting news to share from our sponsor, Grubbly Farms. They're here, new and improved, Grubbly's World Harvest.
I'm a longtime subscriber, and my flock love the healthy, nutritious treats, plus orders $40 and more ship free.
If you haven't heard, Grubbly's has a fantastic layer pellet and crumble feed. It's packed with plant and insect protein, perfect for those picky chickens and ducks.
Grubbly Farms makes food and treats for healthy pets and planet.
To support us and Grubbly Farms, use the link grubbly.co/coffee. Try it today. Okie dokie artichoke. Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
All right, over here. Really pretty day today and lots of sun. I think we didn't see the sun for like 5 days straight, so this is good.
I know. Sun, and now I'm the bearer of bad rain news. Rain for the next 3 days.
Are you serious?
Yes. I saw it this morning. And Friday's supposed to be like the worst. So it's supposed to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is supposed to be better. And then like Monday and Tuesday, like bright and 70 degrees. Like seriously, what about our weekend? Yeah.
We need to start shearing sheep soon.
You do. Not we. You.
When I say we, I mean Pete and I. Obviously not you.
Well, if you needed help, I would help you. But
we have a pretty good system. We've been shearing together for like 10 years now. So we have a pretty good system down.
That's what she said.
Yes, that is what she said.
So how's that maple syrup going over there?
So we had a listener who asked about the maple syrup. So good news, bad news. The good news is I did get some sap and I will be boiling it down soon. Bad news is I started right at the end of the sap run for the sugar maples.
Your timing was not that great.
No. And I wondered if it was going to be late because remember we had a really warm spell?
Yeah. It was like 85 degrees.
Right. So I think that the sap was probably running early this year. And anyway, long story short, I got in on the end of it. I have, I don't know how much it is. It's several cups. It's only going to make a little syrup, but it's, it's a nice small scale start to my maple syruping adventures.
It was running, so you didn't catch it?
I did catch it, but there just wasn't that much of it running. I know you're cracking yourself up, but I did catch it.
It was running too fast for you.
It's a sap run.
It's a sap run. 5K.
You can do some fun stuff with that, I think.
Oh, yeah. So
sap run 5K.
When you make it, it's all mine then, right? If anybody can see your face right now, they would be cracking up.
You are out of your ever-loving mind.
You have like a special bottle you're bringing it to me in and all the good stuff.
No.
You're speechless. Where's my maple syrup, man?
First of all,
wait, is somebody going to message me then now? Somebody's going to message me and say, wait, maple syrup's really expensive. Holly gets to keep her maple syrup. No, bring it to me.
The problem is it takes a lot of sap to boil down to make a decent amount of maple syrup. So I probably have, 5 or 6 cups of sap. So I'm guessing that's going to be like, a quarter of a cup of maple syrup.
I thought you were going to say like a tablespoon.
Maybe you can have like 1/8 of a tablespoon of my maple syrup.
I'll be over for 1/4 of a pancake. Where's my pancake? I'll be sitting there holding a little piece of pancake. I want to try the fresh maple syrup. Please.
That would be hilarious, actually.
Please, Mom. Let me try the fresh maple syrup.
Drop of syrup.
Have another drop, please.
I think that next year I'll be a lot more successful. It's all good. It was fun. It was a good learning process.
Meanwhile, I can just picture you in the kitchen, like your hair up in a bun with the glasses, and you're like, oh, I'm boiling the maple syrup.
That's me every day. Pretty much every day. So right now, I don't know why people say geese don't lay a lot, because these geese are like churning out egg after egg after egg after egg.
But then they're going to stop like in a month.
Yeah, but I've got like a basin of eggs right now.
A boatload.
A boatload. Well, a boatload of goose eggs on top of a train load of chicken eggs.
I know. I mean, the eggs right now, last night I boiled like 3 dozen and I still have like 3 dozen on the counter. So, yeah.
He keeps asking me if I've made egg salad with the goose egg. So I should. Actually, what I'm going to do this afternoon, I'm going to experiment with some recipes, including making meringue with goose eggs. So I think I'll boil some up and see how hard or easy it is to hard boil them and how they taste hard boiled.
I saw this thing online that somebody was using that you buy on Amazon. It's actually cool.
What is
for deviled eggs. So it's an egg cutter so that you don't have to like, it makes like the design around the egg so you can cut it like a design and do it evenly. So you're not just trying to break the egg or whatever.
So it's kind of like an egg stencil.
Yes.
Kind
it's
of.
really cool. Yeah, it was cool. I was like, oh,
So
it's a gadget. I should get it.
Does that mean like, what is it? Cut the egg in like crenellations or something?
Yeah, like all the way around so that you can make them even. So
well,
you're
you
not
need
kind
to
of
buy one and we can do a retail therapy on it.
Retail, yeah, therapy. Woo! I had to break into that.
Yeah. Well, tell me where they are.
Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to do a retail therapy and show it on there at one point. We just brainstormed another retail therapy. There we go.
Look at us working hard.
Look at us go. Okay. So on that note, if you're listening to our show and you're loving it, head on over to Apple Podcast and leave us a written review. It does amazing things for the growth of our show. We love reading them. We always are like, we got another one. Yay. So if you're that person that leaves it, just know you make us really happy and it's free. And if you subscribe, they count them and you never miss a fun episode.
If you're looking for other ways to help support the podcast, you can tell a few chicken, duck, goose, or turkey loving friends about us.
Or horse.
Or horse, right? Yeah. You can share your favorite episodes on social media. You can become a patron of the show, patreon.com/coffeewiththechickenladies. And the other thing you can do to help support us is visit our website and our show notes, use our affiliate links and discount codes, and buy products from our sponsors.
Yay!
So, winter is coming.
It's better when Sean Bean says it.
Can you stay on topic for just a minute?
What topic?
Winter. Well, chickens, obviously. And igloo coops from Omelette.
Oh, yeah. You got to have an igloo for winter.
If you don't know igloos, they're engineered for extremes. Double insulated, waterproof, and stormproof.
They keep out any weather and all predators.
And you can just wipe them clean.
My girls and little man are so comfy in their Igloo Pro.
Mine too. Warm and dry all year round.
Winter is coming.
Be ready with an igloo.
Search Omelette. That's OMLET.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you like monthly subscriptions?
Does it have anything to do with chickens?
Of course.
Then, yeah. Let us take a minute to tell you about Chicken Love.
You get a monthly Chicken Lady tee, treats for your flock, and a keeper care card.
And did you know with every multi-month subscription, you get a free Chicken Love logo t-shirt?
Really?
Yeah.
It's $36 a month with free shipping.
What are you waiting for? Get off the nest and click already. That's chickenlove.com. That's chickenluv.com. Get your subscription today.
The Breed Spotlight is brought to you by Murray McMurray Hatchery, defining quality for generations. For over a century, Murray McMurray Hatchery has remained a trusted family-owned business working tirelessly to ensure our poultry meet the highest standards. Whether you are an experienced enthusiast or just embarking on the journey, look to McMurray Hatchery for guaranteed quality, rare, and heritage breeds,
low minimums, and all the supplies you need to raise your flock. Request a free catalog today. Walk like a royal palm turkey. Do, 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 do. Walk like a royal palm turkey. Do, 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 do. It's time for put your hands in the air, the breed spotlight, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
How does one walk like a royal palm turkey? I want to see you do it. Come on now. Shimmy your royal palm. Oh my God.
I was doing it. Okay. So this week's breed spotlight, if you haven't already guessed,
is the royal palm turkey.
And you're going to walk like one too.
The royal palm turkey is an American heritage breed. They are a beautiful black and white turkey that makes a gorgeous addition to a backyard flock. They are gorgeous. They're just gorgeous.
They're so gorgeous.
They are a small, friendly turkey that is popular with turkey fanciers and heritage breed lovers. The royal palm is currently found in the watch category of the Livestock Conservancy's conservation priority list.
Unless you're Sophia, turkeys love you. Sophia, for some reason, she has a bad rap with the turkeys. Sophia is my oldest daughter, and every time we see a turkey, it's like, goes after her. Like,
she's got an anti-turkey look to her.
Anti-turkey. Oh, that's at Sophia. I don't like her. I'm coming after her.
Somewhere in Florida in the 1920s, the birds that would eventually become the royal palm breed first showed up in a mixed flock of turkeys. The man who gets credit for this is Enoch Carson. Now, on his farm in Lake Worth, Florida, and if you're wondering, Lake Worth, Florida is in Palm Beach County.
Okie dokie.
Carson was keeping black, bronze, Narragansett turkeys and some wild turkeys, and he bred these together. Eventually, he started to see this black and white barred pattern appear in the cross turkey offspring. Now, I tried to find where the royal palm name comes from, and the best I could tell, the turkey is named after the royal palm tree that grows in Florida and Cuba and some other tropical areas.
I know where it comes from. I actually know this.
I'm listening.
They're royal turkeys, and they're fanned with the royal palms from the trees. And
that makes just as much sense as any other theory. So let's go with that.
So they have lounge chairs.
What, the turkeys lay back in a chaise lounge?
Yes, that's what I'm envisioning. These turkeys like laying in the chaise lounge, and then somebody comes over with a big palm,
wafting the palm leaf,
giving them some grapes. You know, like
that's a happy turkey.
That's
that's not going to work with Roger at Mount Vernon though, because you have to throw the grapes at him. Speaking of Mount Vernon, this is totally off topic, but I know that some of you are sheep people. The Hog Island Sheep Breeders Association meeting will be held at Mount Vernon this year in July, and yours truly will be speaking.
Yes, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And on that personal plug.
That's what I do. I talk sheep when I can. I get it right in there anytime I can.
That's what she said.
Okay, back to the royal palm turkey. My best guess, I think my theory was not as good as yours. My best guess is that the fringy palm leaves were somehow reminiscent of the barred pattern on the turkey. That's
the thing that hangs off the chest. Yeah.
Oh, like his beard?
Yeah, like that looks like palm.
Maybe Carson just wanted to give a Florida-bred bird the name of a Florida native tree. I don't know. Whatever the case.
Can we call him a rattan or the rattan turkey?
The rattan turkey. Jeez.
The wicker one.
Oh
the
my
wicker
God.
One turkey.
Wicker turkey. Okay. So lots of really plausible reasons why the turkey was called royal palm, and back to the rest of the history. So Carson and some other breeders worked to breed for consistent appearance and consistent feather pattern with this bird. And eventually they achieved the royal palm turkey appearing as we know it today. The royal palm and its breed standard were accepted by the American Poultry Association in 1977.
What a great time, the 70s.
Yeah, we were under 5. Oh, no, we were 5. We were 5 when this turkey was accepted. Okay. Now, it should be noted that similar black and white barred patterns have also occurred in turkeys bred in Europe. According to the UK's Rare Breed Survival Trust, the pied turkey, or the Crustless turkey is also a small-bodied bird, also a barred bird, and apparently it's been around since the 1700s. There's also another small-bodied black and white barred bird found in Belgium. It's the Ronquier, and this one also dates back to the 1700s. So clearly, this pattern is not something completely new, though these breeds are distinct with their own DNA. But it looks like various breeds and crosses can create this barring pattern. It's probably just like the cuckoo pattern in chickens.
Exactly. There's one thing that we really do know about these turkeys that should never be forgotten. They're royal. And they're royal of the palm. Okay?
Okay. That's very, very educational and helpful. Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
Yes.
So let's go in to size and where the royal palms are standing within the size. So
apparently they're standing on a chaise lounge or in wicker furniture or tan.
They're a little taller. Because they're on the lounge.
Okay, we'll be serious.
It's hard for us to do
Very.
That, so they are on the smaller size, with the toms weighing in between 16 to 22 pounds and the hens weighing in between 10 and 12. Now, I say these numbers, and it may not sound small to you because you're used to us saying chicken numbers.
Right.
But for turkeys, these are smaller. When you think about when you purchase a turkey to cook, some of them can be huge. Like really, really big.
Yeah.
So they have red heads that will change to bluish white, a black beard. Oh, they have a black beard on Tom's chest. I can't say black beard.
I know.
Like, the black beard. On Tom's chest, a salmon orange legs and feet, and their feathers are, like Holly was saying, the black and white barred pattern, created by white feathers and metallic black edging. Now that sounds like a hard rock band there.
Metallic black edging. Metallic black edge.
The Edge. That would be a great name for a band. Metallic black edge.
And their logo could be a little royal palm turkey.
It would be awesome.
Eating
Let's
grapes.
do it. Our next thing is we're going to do a record album.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
All the jingles. It's going to be the Breed Spotlight jingles.
Oh boy. Gotta
No
get to
one
work
would
writing
buy
their
it.
songs.
No one would buy it. Okay, I would buy it. It would have one sale myself. Okay, so the royal palm hens are poor to fair layers of large speckled eggs. So, the speckled eggs are great because they're really cool looking.
They're very pretty.
But they're not the best of layers. So there you have it. We've seen everywhere from 12 to 50 eggs per year. That's not great, but it's a turkey. So,
I mean, it's some of that depends on the bloodlines and some other factors. So it can be more.
And also the eggs are larger, if you think about it that way.
Right, they are.
So many of them will lay a clutch of about a dozen eggs and go broody. We've witnessed it ourselves with turkeys.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen turkeys just sitting on an egg until someone told us that the egg actually went rotten.
The heritage breed turkey hens do tend to have a lot of broody to them. I mean, which is great if you want a homestead turkey that can raise their own young. That's fantastic.
That or your chickens, too. If you don't have a broody chicken, I mean, a turkey could certainly sit on some chicken eggs. But you have to really take their size into consideration because you don't want them to crush the chicks that are much smaller than turkey chicks.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily sound like a good idea to me. Maybe big Malay chicks, but
maybe the Malay. I was raised by a turkey mom.
They'll gobble at you.
Yeah, exactly. So the royal palm is a beautiful option for someone who is looking to add a turkey to their backyard flock or their
turkey
farm,
or three
or their homestead.
Right. Now, while some people do use them as table birds, other people feel that they're not big enough. I mean, you're talking about a big difference right there. But some people are looking specifically for a heritage breed that they can let live through the season.
Right. Exactly.
Lots of people are raising turkeys as pets that give you some tasty seasonal eggs. Royal palms are known to be very friendly. They make gorgeous showbirds, and they really enjoy foraging and free range time. So they can be garden helpers too.
It is the rage of the times. Definitely.
Like most turkeys, they fly very, very well. So you may want to build them a big aviary style run for those times when you can't safely free range them so they don't become coyote dinner.
Right. And they don't really roost from what we understand. They're going to need a bed or, some bedding to lay in overnight.
Right. So you're saying they don't need a coop with perches. They just need bedding to sleep in. Yeah.
Exactly. So here's the important question that we want to ask, and what everybody else is asking right now. Where do you get this turkey?
Murray McMurray Hatchery sells absolutely adorable 1-day-old Royal Palm turkey poults, so you can order yours. You can also check the Livestock Conservancy's breeders directory, or if you're looking to get involved with showing, you can join the APA to connect with breeders.
Okay. If you have the Royal Palm and they're on a chaise lounge, please send us your pictures and a story and we will reshare. We're getting lots of messages and lots of stories. We love seeing them come over. So do send. We love to see them.
Are you ready to dive into the fascinating world of backyard ducks? Look no further than Metzer Farms, your premier destination for top quality waterfowl. Whether you're a seasoned breeder or just starting out, Metzer Farms has everything you need to elevate your flock to the next level. And if you're passionate about call ducks, you're in for a treat.
Metzer Farms hatches a stunning variety of call ducks, meticulously bred for their miniature size, beauty, and calm temperament. From snowy whites to vibrant colors, each duck is a masterpiece waiting to grace your backyard. Visit MetzerFarms.com today to browse their extensive selection and start your journey into the wonderful world of waterfowl. Metzer Farms, where passion meets perfection.
If you're looking for a chicken coop that's produced in a planet-friendly, sustainable way, try Nestera.
Each coop is made from highly durable, 100% recycled plastic that keeps the equivalent of up to 2,000 shampoo bottles out of a landfill.
Their clean, modern design will fit into any garden or run area and comes with an industry-beating 25-year warranty and a range of handy accessories.
Simple to put together, so quick and easy to clean, and most importantly, red mite resistant. Your chickens will love it.
Quick shipping from Nestera.us.
For a 5% discount, use the affiliate link in our show notes, on our website, and on Instagram. Link in bio. Check them out today. Roosty's proudly sponsors Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. They're back with an innovative new product. You're going to want to check this out.
It's an extra large set, a 14-pound feeder in 3-gallon water with steep anti-roost lids. They're made of super durable material. You can either stand them on legs or hang them on brackets on your coop or fence. They're easy to remove and clean too. Plus, they look awesome.
We personally use Roosties and we're huge fans. So if you're raising chicks or keeping chickens, check out the Roosty store on Amazon or follow the link in our show notes. Okay, on that note, are we ready to move on to main topic? Yeah.
Yeah. This week's guest is Stacy Benjamin. Stacy has been keeping poultry for about 15 years, so we're talking chickens and we're talking turkeys, in the Pacific Northwest. Stacy just authored a really fantastic book that we're thrilled to talk about today, An Absolute Beginner's Guide to Raising Backyard Turkeys. Stacy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the table. How are you doing today?
Doing great today. I actually am in my husband's office because I have a brooder full of chicks in my office. And they're at that stage where they're like flying around, bouncing off things and like screeching. And it's chaotic, but fun too.
Yeah, it was a no-go over there. So it's like, hubby, move out. You got to get in your office. So I'm going to start with the questions. And what we wanted to start with is just for you to tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and your background and how you got started with turkeys and chickens too.
Yeah, so I started as a backyard chicken keeper. I used to live in Portland, Oregon, and just had like a small city lot. My husband is allergic to dogs and cats, and I'm an animal lover, and I really wanted some pets. And, we had fish, which are fine, but not really the same. And so when I got our first chicks, it was in 2010. And that was really when the backyard chicken keeping movement and, the couple years before was really just kind of hitting its stride. And so as I would walk to work, I would hear sounds of like the egg song as I would pass by people's yards. And I thought, oh, chickens. Yeah, of course. Why didn't I think of that? And so I started researching chickens and then, made the case to my husband, as I'm sure a lot of newbies did, like, oh, the pet that gives you breakfast, cheap eggs, And so anyway, we debated about it and I decided to get 3 backyard chickens. Instantly fell in love with them. One of my first 3, even though I bought them as sexed chicks from the feed store, one of the 3 was a rooster. And I had to rehome him, and I was really heartbroken about that. But naturally, I was down to 2 chicks. And so I had to go back to the feed store and get 3 more chicks. And so that's where chicken math started for me. And once I had those first 5, it just kind of snowballed into, I want more. We need more property. And so within about a year and a half of getting those first 3 chicks, we had bought a rural property in St. Helens, Oregon, where we live now. And so then once we had the acreage, it was like, okay, what else can I add? And I had been doing some research online, and I came across a few people that said, if you have raised chickens, you're going to love turkeys even more. And that planted the seed in my mind that turkeys was the logical next step. And so, we added turkeys to our farm in 2015. So it's been 10 years. And I just instantly fell in love with them. And then I also discovered there is a thing called turkey math as well. So
I'm sure.
Now, it is a not so well kept secret that I believe that turkey poults are some of the cutest babies ever.
Holly loves all babies. Let's just put it out there.
I mean,
who doesn't? Come on,
The only thing that competes with goslings is turkey poults, because turkey poults are just, I love them. I love the chickens. So I think our question, because obviously you love your chickens, you love your poultry, but specifically, why turkeys?
Well, I guess one thing I really love about turkeys is if you get the heritage turkey varieties versus broad-breasted turkeys, which are the ones that have been selected to grow very large and naturally large for Thanksgiving. But the heritage turkeys, they really seem like they've been less artificially bred, like compared to the chickens, we know and love. Heritage turkeys are more closely related to their wild ancestors. They still have a lot of those really kind of almost, I don't want to say feral, but they just really have, you can see their instincts on display. They're very attuned to their surroundings. They're very independent. They're very strong and hardy. And I'm a biologist for my day job. I love animals and nature. And for me, they're just fascinating, just seeing how well adapted they are to their environment, how well they can take care of themselves. They've got tons of interesting vocalizations and flock behavior and dynamics. And I just find them fascinating. I mean, a lot of the things you love about chickens, their personality and their beauty and their behaviors, but just amplified, they're just really cool birds.
They sound amazing. And we have some turkeys around on different farms. And the joke is, Holly Ann, that Sophia always has the turkeys gobbling at her all the time.
Yes.
The turkeys seem to love Sophia.
Yeah.
My daughter.
So in our podcast travels, we've done episodes on Narragansetts and slates. So we went to visit them in person and learn about them. And their behavior is so fun.
Yeah,
they're just really
were cute.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are the 2 varieties of heritage turkeys that I have here as well, Narragansett and Blue Slate. So that's a coincidence.
Perfect.
I mean, there's a lot of beautiful heritage varieties, but these are the 2 I feel are 2 of the most striking. But like the stripes and the colors of the Narragansett, they're kind of similar to the Royal Palm. There's kind of the dark and light contrast and a lot of barring and striping that makes them beautiful. But, that blue-gray color, I always love that in any kind of poultry. And so the blue slate for me was one I had to add as well, just because of the beauty of that. Yeah, that blue feather color. I love it.
They're just gorgeous. They're gorgeous.
So probably some of our listeners are sitting here and they're listening to us right now and they're thinking to themselves, okay, this sounds really cool. I kind of want to add some turkeys in. We wanted to ask you the questions. What are the major differences between chicken and turkey care? Can they live together in their coops and runs peacefully?
So yes and no. So the first thing I want to say is that there is a disease that's called blackhead disease that is caused by a protozoan parasite, histaminiasis. And that is a parasite that chickens can carry, and it does not really affect them, but they can transmit it to turkeys, in which it is almost always fatal. So that is something that you want to check with your local agricultural extension office about, or whatever, your state vet, whoever is your local state agricultural expert, and see if that's in your geographic area. Where I live, that's not a concern. And I do have chickens and turkeys sharing the same ground. And so, but if you do have blackhead disease where you live in your geographic area, then turkeys should not share the same ground or buildings that you've had chickens in, just because they can pick it up really easily, and it's pretty fast acting. So, but a lot of people I know on social media keep them together. So I don't think it is that widespread. So if that is not a non-starter for you, the one thing I'll say is that turkeys, I mentioned, are very independent. They have very strong opinions about what they like and don't like in terms of housing. And so they don't really like small spaces or confined spaces. And so my turkeys and chickens don't sleep in the same structures. Turkeys tend to like barns or just big open-sided shelters where they have like a 360 view. They can get up high, like 7 feet in the air. And so that's not really how most chicken coops are size-wise. And so you should really be prepared to provide different housing for your turkeys. If you have a barn already or some like outbuildings, that could be converted to a turkey shelter. It's not that you have to build something specifically for them, but it does need to be big and have a high roof. If it could also have like some like screened sides or just areas where they can kind of get a visual outside, they do like that. And so I don't know if you've seen on my Instagram, I have some pictures of my turkey barn, but we can kind of talk about that later more specifically.
Right. So what I wanted to ask you is, do your chickens live together during the day?
Yeah. So I have, several areas, as probably many people do with poultry. So I have a main chicken flock where I've got all my favorites and my lap girls, and I get all my pretty eggs. And then I have the turkey yard in a totally separate area. And that's where I have put extra roosters, or sometimes I'll say jokingly, I put my mean girls down there. So if I have some chickens that are like causing drama and pecking someone, I might move them down there. So like I've had black copper Morans down there. I've had silkies, which are small but sassy. And now I have some Buff Orpingtons. So I do have chickens with my turkeys, but if you like to kind of sit and have lap chickens and have alone time, you might want to have your turkeys in a separate area anyway, because turkeys are so dominant. They'll just kind of come up and, like interrupt whatever you're doing, which is fun. They love to supervise, but it's not really conducive to like sitting and chilling out with a chicken in your lap.
Honestly, I keep my geese separate from my chickens for the same reasons, because the geese are going to they're the bosses. I'm sure the turkeys are the same way. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's better just safety wise, because turkeys are a lot larger than the chickens. Mm-hmm. Let's look at it this way. Their size differential is they're much bigger. So if you want to not have any injuries and with the personality differences also, it might be a good idea, like you said, to keep them in a completely separate part of your property, but where they could see each other and know that everybody's kind of there.
I think one thing I mentioned in the book with turkeys is just, try something and be prepared to modify it if it doesn't work. So yeah, you can definitely try turkeys and chickens together, but just be prepared to know that, what you think your setup's going to be. It may not work, but, we always are adjusting as we go along, right? And adding shelters and yards and fences. So
flexibility. Yeah, flexibility is one of the most important things you can have as a poultry keeper.
Yeah.
Your book is super fun. One of the reasons we really love it is because you tell all these stories about your birds. Ringo the Tom, and Eleanor is one of my favorite names. So I automatically love Eleanor because she has a pretty name.
Yeah.
But Are they sort of affectionate the same way chickens and geese can be? Will they get in your lap or will they snuggle with you?
So with turkeys, like similarly to chickens, I would say if you are hand raising them versus having a hen raising them, they will be much, much more likely to, jump in your lap and seek out your attention. So I have some very friendly lap turkeys, and those are ones I raised by hand. I also have some turkeys that I let a mama hen hatch, or a couple that I bought from an outside source. And they'll come up to me for treats. They'll eat out of my hands, but they don't like to be picked up. They certainly aren't going to sit in my lap. So you really need to socialize them from those first few days. And they can be just as friendly as chickens, actually, even more so, I would say, in some cases, because poults, one of the differences between poults and baby turkeys is poults are very curious and inquisitive and kind of without fear. Whereas, chicks, when you first get them and you go to like reach into the brooder with your hand, they run, right? It's kind of like they're fearing that like predator response. But poults, they see you and they're like, will come running over and they want to investigate. And so that makes them instantly more fun and, really easy to bond with. So, if you cultivate that interaction from a young age, you can have some very friendly turkeys.
That's great to know.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that because it's more poultry to snuggle, to hug, right?
Yeah. And I have to say, there's something really special about like a big, 10 or 12 pound bird in your lap. It's just all the more fun.
Exactly. What we want to do is kind of move it a little bit into a different direction and talk about turkey eggs, because we do know, that they're going to lay us some eggs. So we want to know, how do they taste? Do they taste different than chicken eggs? And also, we know that some turkeys can be really broody. We've seen, like, people say they'll sit on them forever, like not getting up. We've seen a turkey. Holly Ann, how long was that turkey that, I'm talking about?
The Jersey Buff at Akakeek.
Yeah.
I would say she was on that egg for more than a month before they took it away from her. Yeah.
Exactly. It was a long time. And
I think they would have, they felt so bad, but the egg was going bad. So
the egg was going bad. So tell us a little bit about the eggs, the size, and how do they taste? Do they taste different?
We love turkey eggs. So they're about 1.5 times bigger than a large chicken egg. They're beautiful. They have like kind of a light cream to light pale color with brown speckles. If you're a fan of speckled eggs, these are just stunning. They have a really thick shell. So when you go to crack them, you really need to give them a good whack. As for taste, we've done taste tests with turkey eggs and chicken eggs. We like to eat an egg on toast for breakfast, scrambled eggs. They taste the same to my husband and I. They're on the same diet. They get like a whole grain feed and they eat lots of grass, just like the chickens. But I've had other people tell me too, they can't tell a difference. The turkey egg has a really big yolk, of course, just because the egg is proportionately larger. But yeah, they taste the same as chicken eggs. They're not like duck eggs, where those are a little different. And it's really hard to like scramble a duck egg. I think there's something to do with the protein texture or something. But turkey eggs are pretty similar to chicken eggs in terms of cooking. You can kind of whisk them up and get a nice scrambled egg going. And we use them every way we use chicken eggs. So we eat them for breakfast. They're great for baking, and I like to do things like quiche or Spanish tortilla, puffed Dutch baby pancakes. Yeah. So we love them. We eat them regularly, and, they're beautiful as well. So
nice.
Win in my book.
Fantastic. Oh, yeah. Did the egg whites whip easily?
Yeah, they do. I will say they take maybe just a little bit longer than a chicken egg, but yeah, they whip up just as well. And yeah, pretty similar in like texture and consistency. And then, you mentioned, the broodiness, the tendency. About half of my turkeys will go broody every year. So yeah, that's a pretty high percent of broodies. So yeah, you might get a few dozen eggs in the spring. I'm still waiting on my first one. Usually they lay starting about mid-March to like early April for me. So yeah, some of them will go broody maybe 3 weeks after laying, and then some of them don't go broody, which is great. And then they'll lay pretty much through like early October. So you get about 6 months of laying from your young hens. So a little shorter than a chicken, but they can give you a couple hundred eggs in their first season.
Wow.
But the ones that go broody, then you might get maybe 4 or 5 dozen all summer, because they'll go broody and then they'll stop and then lay some more, and then they might go broody again in, the late summer, early fall. So yeah, we have I have 7 turkey hens here. So that's enough to keep us never wanting for turkey eggs. So yeah, sometimes we're getting like 5 turkey eggs a day, which is great.
Wow. That's fantastic. Wow.
That's awesome.
I love that. So we mentioned your book. Is this your first book that you've written?
Yes.
Okay. So The Absolute Beginner's Guide to Raising Backyard Turkeys. If you are curious about turkey keeping, we highly recommend you get this book. I've seen some books on turkeys, but I've not seen one like this that breaks it down for the absolute beginner. So number one, what was your inspiration for writing it? And is your intended audience like the pet turkey group? People who will be keeping turkeys as pets?
So the inspiration, I guess, was wanting to help people start raising turkeys. And when I started, the books that I found, there's not that many. And a lot of livestock books tend to be written more towards the production level. So, you're going to get like 100 birds or something. And then your setup is totally different than like a small backyard flock keeper. So I wanted something for people like me that, maybe you want, like 3 or 4 turkeys. You need to know how to raise 3 or 4 versus, someone that's raising 100. It's totally different. And so while I do think of my birds mostly as pets and for eggs, a person who is interested in raising turkeys for meat, this book would also be for them. You can definitely, I think, see by my writing style that I find them very endearing. I have a great bond with my birds. And so I think a lot of that comes through in the book, and just giving you an idea of how fun they really are, but also how big their personalities are, and just some things to, be aware of. I mean, they're not just like chickens. And so I want people to be prepared going into this, knowing it might not be as easy as keeping chickens. You need a little more space. You might need to change your setup like we talked about. They might not want to go into your building that you build them, whereas chickens, usually you can get them to go in there in like a week or so. And turkeys might just say, no, I'm not going in there ever. I'm going to sleep on this fence post, or I'm going to sleep on the chicken coop roof. So I try to give you some insight into behaviors that you will very likely see, and some tips for how to deal with that, or, things that maybe you'll be able to change, maybe you won't, and what you don't really need to worry about changing. Turkeys are really healthy, hardy, tough birds. There was a period of time where mine all slept outside on a high roost. They would not tolerate a roof over their head. Like if I would put a roof over their roost, then all of a sudden they would say, no, we don't like that roost anymore. So, there's some challenges, but I want to encourage you. It's all worth it. But I want to set you up for success and planning ahead. It's always good to think about your housing and your yard space and the logistics before you dive in. And so this gives you that deep dive into everything you need to know from day one through raising the next generation.
I have a quick question sorry, Holly Ann.
I was going to make just a quick point. Yeah, I can't recommend the book enough. It's things from the different temperatures that turkey poults need in the brooder to the fact that your turkeys are going to dust bathe. It's all in there. It's great.
Yeah.
So my question that I want to ask before we get to the very last question, we're running a little short on time, is the behavior of the toms. We didn't really touch on this, but is it basically the same as the roosters with their flock? And are they very protective of the eggs and their girls?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So yeah, there are some similarities with roosters in terms of, the toms will be kind of the guardians or the gatekeepers. In my situation, I am the primary caretaker and I raise the poults myself, and my husband sometimes will come in the yard to do projects and things. But as time went on, we found my dominant Tom took on kind of a protective role over me. And so then when my husband would come in, then my Tom would start challenging my husband. So and roosters, do similar things, but roosters weigh a lot less and they're a little easier to deal with. So that's one of the things where, you really need to establish your boundaries with your Tom turkey. You need to kind of maintain your personal space and socialize them just as well. And I think people that aren't the primary caretaker, they might find themselves kind of on the opposite end of a dominant Tom turkey, and that can be a little challenging. So you just need to be aware of where your Toms are and, where you are. If you have kids, especially, just make sure that the turkey is respecting the other people that maybe aren't always in the yard with them. And you might find that you need to, not let, a certain someone in with the turkeys if there are clashes, because that's something, it can be a hard habit to break. I think not unlike roosters. Some roosters do try all the things. You pick them up, you carry them around, you try and show them who's boss, and some say, I get it, and some say, no. So that's the same way with Tom turkeys. So, it's manageable. And, I kind of give my husband's story in there so you can see how it works for us. But yeah, that's a good thing to be aware of. They are big and strong. And so, yeah, you need to just be aware that they can be a handful. But, again, I feel totally worth it.
So that brings us to our last question that we ask every guest that comes on the show. What is your favorite breed of turkey or chicken or both?
Oh, well, I mentioned that I have the Narragansett and Blue Slate turkeys, which I love both of them. But honestly, I think you can't go wrong with any heritage breed turkey. For chickens, I have so many favorites, but one of my recent favorites is the Blue Splash Morans. I've always loved the splash color. Again, it has that blue-gray and then a fair bit of
They're
white.
Beautiful. They're beautiful.
Feathered feet. They don't lay the dark chocolate eggs, but they do lay a medium brown speckly egg, at least mine. The ones I have are super friendly lap chickens, and they're beautiful, and you just love everything about them.
That splash is so pretty. It's just beautiful.
It is. It's so pretty.
Okay, so Stacy, I've got the links for the buying the book in our show notes. Where can our listeners find you?
Okay, I'm on Instagram at 5R Farm, Oregon. And then I have a website where I blog and I sell my soap, and you can learn more about me. And that is www.5rfarm.com.
Great. I'll have that in the show notes as well.
And we want to thank you for coming and spending this time with us. It was great to meet you. And we love your love of turkeys. Hey, everybody should get some turkeys, right?
Yeah. I had so much fun, and I hope I encourage people to give these beautiful birds a try.
Okay, so we want to just say we'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Stacy. Bye. We just want to thank Stacy one more time for spending a great hour with us, giving us some really informative chat about turkey care, and sending us copies of her fantastic book. We're really proud to add this one to our bookshelf.
Thanks so much, Stacy.
Our friends at Good Eggs solved the age-old question of how should I wash my eggs?
They're chicken people just like us who created the original silicone egg scrubber.
Both Chrissy and I use their brush and natural enzyme wash every time.
It's a total game changer.
It makes cleaning eggs so much faster and easier, plus they have a lifetime guarantee.
Good Egg is a small family business right here in the U.S., and they donate 10% of all profit directly to folks affected by cancer.
Go check them out at goodeggstuff.co.
That's goodeggstuff.co. Tell them Chrisie&Holly sent you. Okay, we ready to move on to
Cracking the eggs.
cracking those eggs. Now, we're talking turkeys, right?
Right.
The whole show. So, of course, our recipe is going to be...
It's turkey egg crustless quiche. Now,
and this one was given to us by Stacy.
Right. This is a Stacy recipe. You can absolutely use other eggs in here, but this one, just for fun, is turkey egg quiche.
Okay, so let's go through the ingredients for the crustless quiche. That is a hard one to say.
Crustless quiche.
Let's go through the ingredients for the quiche. We need 3 turkey eggs, or you can use 4 large chicken eggs, since a lot of us have a lot of different size eggs here. She said she weighs the egg in the shell and uses about 8.5 to 9 ounces total egg weight.
I mean, probably you could, if I had to guess here, I would say you're looking at 3 turkey eggs or 3 duck eggs or
4 large chickens.
2 goose eggs and a chicken egg thrown in, 4 large chicken eggs. But if you have smaller layers, probably 5.
5 or 6. Yeah. Not too hard. 1.5 cups of milk or light cream or a combination of, or dairy free or oat milk if you are dairy free. 1/4 cup of finely chopped onion, thinly sliced mushrooms, 1 to 1.5 cups of shredded Swiss cheese or dairy free cheese, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, black pepper to taste,
Or white.
1 tablespoon of chopped fresh herbs, or 1 teaspoon of dried.
Pretty much any herb would be really good in here. Some thyme, some dill. Oh, yeah, it would be good.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and you're going to lightly grease a 10-inch pie pan and set it aside. And really, with a recipe like this, if you don't have a pie pan, an 8x8 or 9x9 baking dish will do just fine.
Yeah. And you know what? I love to use pretty ones because it just makes me feel better. The Pioneer Woman has some really pretty pie dishes.
She does. Mm-hmm. You want a large skillet. You're going to put a splash of olive oil in there and saute your onions and mushrooms until they're pretty well cooked. Then you're going to set them aside to cool slightly. In a large mixing bowl, you're going to beat the eggs, milk, and spices together. Add that onion and mushroom mixture and stir it together pretty well. Add the cheese, stir again until everything's nicely blended, then pour that into your prepared baking dish. You might need to distribute the chunkier ingredients a little bit so it's not all pushed to one side. Pop that in the oven. You're going to bake until it is set and turning golden brown, and a knife inserted into the center comes out clean. That's usually about 30 to 35 minutes. Remove it from the oven and let it rest for about 10 minutes before serving. And then you've got some really yummy turkey egg quiche.
Enjoy. And great. Invite your bestie over to talk turkeys, chickens, geese, ducks.
I was going to say, my bestie comes
cats.
over. Sheep. Sheep. If my bestie comes over.
Pollyanna be talking my ear off about sheep when I come over.
That's right. Like I said, if my bestie comes over, she's eating goose egg quiche.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm hoping the geese won't chase me.
That's right. You haven't met them yet. Girl, you got to get over here.
I know. It's crazy. Okay, so like I always say, try it. You might like it. Let us know what you think. Send us pictures after you make it. We definitely want to see it. Okay, so let's move on to retail therapy. Retail therapy. Yeah. This week's retail therapy, we don't think we've done this one before, but
not
it keeps
only
coming up on my Facebook.
I'm pretty sure we have not done this before, and I'm pretty sure that Katie Metzer also sent this to us in an email. So they were on my radar, but then they kept coming up in your feed
all the time. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So it's American Farm Company, and it might be coming up in your feed too. But
well, it will now.
Yeah, now it will. And all you have to do is search chickens. Now, let me tell you, it's got 8 pages of chicken stuff on this website.
That sounds good.
A chicken clip for your hair that looks just like a hen.
What?
Yes. Chicken mom socks, which are the cutest thing ever. It's got a lady on the top of the sock with overalls, and she's spreading corn out, and she's got a beanie hat on.
Well, spreading corn is not going to last very long.
No, but then the other sock says Awesome Chicken Mom and has the chickens on the top. I mean, so cute. They're $10.95 for a pair. That is a great gift for Mother's Day. For, just there's a chicken umbrella. Chicken slippers. Seriously.
Cute.
Yes.
I'm looking up the chicken hair clip. I need to see this.
Yeah, it's if you pull up chickens, it's the very first thing that they show. It's sold out right now. It's a bestseller.
Okay. Chicken hair clip.
It's got to be pretty. It shows it. Oh, they have a cow and a pig too. I think you get all three for $24.
Oh, okay.
Now, it does not have sheep, so you might not like that.
I might not.
Okay, chicken pajama pants. We all know we like some pajama pants.
Oh, yeah.
Onesie. I love giving chicken gifts to loved ones because I am a chicken lady, so I love to share that.
I like the cow clip.
It's cute.
There's also a wheat clip. There's a sheep.
I didn't go far enough. There's
oh,
tumblers.
no, there's a big red tractor.
Oh, that's cool.
And a pink tractor.
There's mugs. There's garden flags. There's children's clothing. There's a baseball cap that says Chicken Mama.
Yeah.
There's lots of tea towels. Okay, there's stickers. There's another baseball cap that says literally obsessed with chickens.
That's cute.
Oh, there's a mug with a barn and chickens, and it says raising chickens and children. That's kind of cute.
That's cute. That's another nice Mother's Day gift.
That is definitely. There's retro chicken crew neck sweatshirt for $24. That's a good deal. That's on sale. So yeah, go in. There's like literally 8+ pages of chicken stuff on this website.
This t-shirt says farmer's wife. And I'm like, but really, are you just the farmer's wife or aren't you farming too?
I'm going to get Joe one that says chicken lady's husband.
So get his, I was going to say, get him the one that says farmer's wife.
Oh man, chicken lady's husband.
That's a good one. Is that one in here or did you make it up?
It's not. I just made it up.
That's a good one though. I like that.
Oh, there's a chicken dance 1,000 piece puzzle. Okay.
That'll keep you busy.
$16.99. That would keep you busy.
Wow.
Okay. It's endless. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on here.
Mm-hmm.
So go take a 5-minute website break, internet break, and just look at the chicken stuff and see if there's anything you like on there because it's good. And it keeps showing up in my Facebook feed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It wants me to buy something. Maybe the socks.
Or the big blue tote that says support farmers.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so should we tell everybody what we're going to be talking about next week?
Next week, oh yeah, we are spotlighting the beautiful and rare Russian Orloff chicken. I'm going to tell you where you can get those. The amazing Ginger Stevenson from McMurray Hatchery will be joining us to chat about what's new at McMurray this spring, some upcoming things.
We can't wait to talk to our sweet friend.
Cracking the eggs. Ooh, egg yolk pound cake is our recipe. That sounds fantastic.
You gain a pound after you eat it.
Pound after you eat a piece of it. And retail therapy. Oh yeah, it's gardening season. So we're going to talk about one of my current obsessions. Seeds. Specifically, Baker Creek seeds.
I love to see catalogs. I try to grow them, but I'm not great. So there you go.
You only tried once.
Okay. So what should we tell everybody to do until next week?
Hug your chickens, ducks, and geese.
Every day you forgot turkeys. And kiss them too. We'll talk to you next week.
Gobble, gobble.
Bye.
If you'd like to see more of us, please follow us on Instagram at Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. If you'd like to help us grow the podcast, please leave us a written review on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, please visit our Patreon page, patreon.com/coffeewiththechickenladies. Thanks for listening.